In the last lecture, we found out that async data runs in different environments. Let's now simply log that context object to get a deeper insight into what's inside of that. Now for that, I simply console log context, and now I will reload the main page. Now, as expected, we don't see the output here, but on the server because I reloaded. And here we actually see a lot of data being output. We see that the context object has properties like isServer, isClient, which allows us to find out in which environment we're running, if we're in development mode, and a lot of other things. Now, to make this a bit more convenient to read, let's not reload the page and go to some other page instead and navigate back. Now it's, of course, logged in the client. And here we can conveniently check what's inside this context object. Now, as you can see, we got a bunch of different things. We got the env property, which holds environment variables if we had injected any. We have the isClient property, which indicates whether we are on the client or not. Though, as you can see, you should not rely on this anymore in the latest version of Nuxt. You should use process client instead, which uses an environment variable. But what we also see is, for example, that we can access params. So any route params we might have. This is the Nuxt router, because if we ever need route params, we can't use this route. Remember, I mentioned that this is not available because this does run before the component is created. Therefore, here with params, we get the information from Nuxt, which is able to parse the URL. The same for query parameters. We also got a redirect function in case you want to simply redirect on that or in that method. We can execute it and pass the URL of a new route. We get access to the store, and I will come back to UX soon, but here we get access to that. We can access more detailed route data if we want it. Params is just a convenience property which gives us direct access. We could also access context route params. And we also got general app information here. Now that is super useful. You won't use all of these properties most of the time, but you get a lot of insights into the current state of your app with the help of the context object. And especially being able to parse the route parameters is super useful, as we can see in the next lecture, when we also want to load the data for a single post dynamically.